everyone. It is a wonderful day outside, beautiful, beautiful, but still just a little toasty on my deck. So we are in the house again, but happy Thursday. Hope you are having a wonderful day like I am, and so far so good. And it's Thursday, the weekend is right around the corner, and it's crazy to think that September is right around the corner. Holy cow. So as always, on Thursdays, I tend to go a little more towards, or lean a little more towards, a yin practice, or more of a slower paced restorative practice. And so that's the plan today. As always, I hope you were able to maybe do some of Tuesday's practice. Those abs were killer and so good. Helped me feel strong for the week and stay on track and motivated. So I don't know about you, but sometimes I just need practices like that, or workouts like a hard, good, tough workout to keep me motivated and for the rest of the week and stay on the right track. So let's do this. I have blocks, 1 or 2 work great. I should have mentioned that in the little teaser before, to have some blocks, or also a strap in case you need that. But as always, there's other things that you can use around the house, that kind of stuff. We are going to start off in a chest opener, okay? So run around the house, try and find a couple blocks, or maybe a pillow, or if you have a couple yoga mats, you can roll up a yoga mat and kind of use that as a block also. So find what you need, or hit pause, come back, here we go. We're going to take one block and we're going to place it kind of where your shoulder blades would be. So that's where the upper back is going to rest on that one. And then the second one is going to be up a little bit higher. So I have this one on the lowest level, and then I'm going to have the other one up on more of a medium level, or you can even make it a little bit taller, tall level. So this or this, okay? And that's going to be where the back of my head is going to rest on that second block. This is going to feel amazing. If you work on a computer all day long, or if you are driving all day long, or anything else really, phone usage, anything, this is going to really help open things up. We all need that, right? So this is what we're going to do, is just going to lie back. For this one, I'm going to keep my knees bent, my feet flat on the ground, okay? You don't have to. You can lie all the way out if you want. But I'm going to lie back and just kind of gauge where that block hits and adjust it accordingly. And then I'm going to take that second block, and I'm going to have it be the tallest level. Actually, let's see what it feels like, medium level. Yeah, I'm going to do medium level, okay? So down just a little bit lower. And then widen my feet out and let my knees kind of lean into one another. All right, let your arms just rest off to the sides. Oh my goodness, I love this. I need it so much. My shoulders need to be pulled back. You don't even realize how much hunching forward you do. Sometimes then when you're in here, you're like, oh yeah, feel that. So just close your eyes. And just find your breath, breathing deeply in through your nose and out your nose. And just surrender into it, your shoulders just heavily pressing down, pulling away, opening the heart. And yeah, we're physically opening our hearts here, but we can do the same thing mentally as we open our hearts to change, open our hearts to good things to come into our lives. That can be such a mental game that we can play, and just really open your mind to the good possibilities that can happen. Just take a few more deep breaths. Then start to awaken. Now you're going to wiggle fingertips, wiggle through your toes. You can start to open your eyes if you want. And then start to stretch your arms above your head. You don't have to kick the legs out quite yet. I'm just going to focus on the arms for right now. And there's obviously some space to allow them to drop down past the point that they usually do, giving you more range of motion and also a lot of good stretch. I like to bend my elbows here and drop my arms down past my head or kind of behind my head. Now once I'm here, maybe I'll start to kick the legs out, pointing and flexing through the feet. Just feel this incredible, amazing stretch. And then release your arms slowly. Good job. I'm just going to bend one knee and then just lift up a little bit. Push the blocks out of the way. Just kind of set them off to the side. Lie back down flat now. Hug the knees up into your heart. And you're just going to gently rock those knees side to side. Take your time, reach your arms out like the letter T, and then exhale, drop your knees over to the right and look past your left shoulder. And then inhale, lift the knees back up, and exhale, drop your knees over to the left and look over your right shoulder. And then inhale, lift your knees back up into the center, roll the knees around, circle, circle, both directions. Got something in my eye. All right, now when you're ready, we're going to start to rock and roll up and down and go all the way into a downward facing dog. Okay, so pedal the legs once you're here, drop the head, shake your head out yes and no if you want, shift your hips side to side. Then drop it forward into a plank pose. Feel your belly nice and tight, maybe from the other day. You're saying, oh yeah, we've got some abs there. So breathe. And then lift your hips back up to the sky for your downward facing dog. And then pulling back into your plank pose. Good, nice deep breaths. Drop your right knee to the center of your mat. Take your right hand below your shoulder, open up into a nice modified side plank. And we're just going to keep the left toes on the ground for the moment. If you feel like you want to lift them off the ground, by all means, go for it. You can totally do that. And then gaze down, take your left hand to the floor, come into a tabletop. Okay, you know me, cat-cow, one of the best. Here we go. Belly down, inhale. And exhale. Last time, inhale. And exhale. Then come back to that neutral spine. We're going to move into our side plank on the other side. So what you're going to do is just take the left knee into the center of your mat, left hand to the center, open up sideways. Now your right arm is going to lift up in the air, and you want to make sure you don't sink into your shoulder. Hopefully you could see kind of that difference. I'm going to really activate this arm and this shoulder and push up. Okay, so it protects this shoulder, and then the right arm is going to lift up in the air. Again, if you're happy with keeping those right toes on the ground, great. If you want to lift them up, go for it. Just take care of yourself. Listen to your body on this wonderful Thursday and what it needs. And then turn and look down. Take your right hand down to the mat. Come back to tabletop. We're going to work ourselves into puppy dog pose, okay? It's a really great one. It's kind of something in between a down dog and a child's pose, okay? So it looks a little bit like this. You're going to keep your little booty in the air, okay? And then you're going to lower the chest down. As you do that, you're going to stretch your arms forward and rest your forehead to the floor. Puppy dog pose is so amazing. Again, you are going to feel a good stretch in the shoulders as you collapse your chest down towards the ground. That's a really good one, and it's also going to get into the spine. I'm sure you've seen cats and dogs stretch like this all the time, especially in the sunlight. They just love a good stretch. Fan those fingers out. Just enjoy where you're at. And then lift your forehead up. Slide your hands right there below your shoulders once again. Nice job. And then you're going to just shift your feet to one side. Have a seat on your rear end. Okay? So some good seated stretches. That's the plan today. I love doing some good seated stretches, okay? So from here, we're going to extend the legs out like a wide letter V, but we're seated. So if you want, you can back up against a wall and do this and have kind of that support of a wall. Go for it. If you want to just be in the middle, that's okay too, okay? Just make sure that your pelvis isn't tipping forward or back, okay? You want to be very straight on, shoulders over hips. Toes are going to point up in the air, hands in the middle. Now this is maybe where the block comes in handy. So that block can come right there in the center. Maybe you're just reaching for the block with a flat back, and then just lean ever so gently forward to the point where, okay, yeah, I am feeling that awesome stretch in my legs, okay? You can do this. Maybe the block is there for a little more support, so what I can do is lean forward a little more. I'm going to put my forearms on the block, okay? A little more intense, but it's still doable. Still feeling a good stretch. Just breathe. For some of you that maybe have a little extra flexibility, maybe you're extra warm today, this is another option. You know, I gotta throw everything at you. I'm gonna tip my block the highest level, okay? I'm gonna lean forward and put my forehead on the block. Now for some of you, you're like, oh no, not gonna happen. That's okay, all right? Realize I've been doing this for a long time. Today is just one of those days where I can do this, and that's okay, and I'm honoring my body. It's what it wants. So just rest your forehead, breathe, relax your shoulders. Always say that, because a lot of times this happens. Just relax. And then inhale, you're gonna start to lift it back upright, seated position, okay? Just set your block off to the side. We're gonna do a funky little, okay, Flashdance is a good movie, so maybe edit it a little bit, but it's an old 80s movie, maybe you've seen it. I call this next one like kind of a Flashdance move. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna twist to the right, take your right hand behind your bum. Now, you're gonna point your toes at the ground. You're gonna lean back into this right hand, lift your bum up, and let your left arm reach overhead. So it looks a lot like a wild thing. And then you're gonna softly come back down. Good, regroup, okay? Maybe shake those legs out a little bit. Don't get scared. If you don't wanna lift your bum up off the ground, you don't have to. Let's twist to the left now. Twist to the left, my left hand comes behind my bum, okay? Point your toes, lean back into that left hand, lift up, right arm reaches overhead. Good. And then softly come back down. Come forward. Shake everything out. Nice job. Let's lean to the left. This is where that block will come in handy. You can either place your left arm on that left leg, or you can even set the block on the inside of the leg arm on that block, and then right arm reaches overhead. A lot of times we tend to lean forward in this. Try to stay as open as possible. In fact, I'm going to move it to the outside of my leg so I don't collapse forward. And just really lean back. And then inhale, lift it up. Just use that left hand. Whoop, switch it over to the other side. Place it, I'm going to put it again on the outside of my right leg. My forearm is going to be on it. Roll this left shoulder back, and then that left arm is going to hug close to the left ear as I stretch to that right side. And then inhale, lift it back up. Good job. All right, stay seated. Lean back just a little bit to bring those legs back into one another. All right, next one of my favorite hip openers, okay? We're gonna extend the right leg straight out. Now this left leg, you're gonna bend it up towards your chest, towards your armpit, and grab a hold of the knee in your elbow. Take your right hand to that left foot, pick it up. Now just rock it back and forth. It's a good little leg. Here we go. Feeling that a little bit in the hip. We're kind of flossing that hip flexor. And then you're going to see if you can drag that right foot. Or, yeah, oh my gosh, I don't know my right from my left, you guys. Your left foot into your right elbow crease. Cradle this lower left leg up into your heart like you just cherish it like there's no tomorrow. It's your little baby. Rocking it back and forth. If you start to sink or slouch at all, just let the foot go out a little bit and sit up a little taller. Okay, that's going to kind of help minimize that slouchiness that we don't really want so much. And just cradle it. Every breath, hugging it a little closer. You can close your eyes here if you want. Sometimes people want to cry in this. Maybe some people want to laugh in this pose. It can do a lot of emotional baggage release. So take advantage of that. Good. And then you're going to take this leg, let it come on down, flat, shake it out a little bit. Let's move on to that right side. I said it right, hopefully. The other side. All right, so bending it up, take the knee, the right knee, into your elbow crease, picking the foot up. Left hand, grab hold of that foot, and just like we did before, rock it in and out. Okay, here we go. We're gonna hug it close. Let's get into that cradle mode. So slide it up as high as you can into your arms. Start to kind of adjust, facing forward. Cradle that right leg, sitting up as tall as you can. Belly pulling in. Close your eyes if you want. Sometimes that helps with any distractions that kind of might be around you. Just close your eyes. Seek out this calm place to release anything you don't need. Then open your eyes and release that foot. Maybe shake those legs out a little bit. Good. All right, we're gonna lie back. We're gonna move into a reclined, or actually a bridge pose, but we're gonna do waterfall with our bridge pose, and we're gonna do it with a block. So an elevated, supported bridge pose. Grab a pillow, grab a block, grab anything that can give you some height underneath you and support you, okay? So start to lie back slowly. Good. Once you're there, just take a breath. No rush. Don't need to go crazy rushing into anything. And then all you're going to do is take your arms, rest them beside you. Walk the heels of your feet towards your fingertips, okay? Then you're ready for bridge pose, normal bridge pose. If you want to just do a normal bridge pose, go for it. Otherwise, it's that kind of day. I'm going to take my block. As I lift my hips high off the mat, I'm going to take my block and place it underneath my tailbone, okay? And just make sure that it's not going to flip out from underneath you. You can go low, medium, or high with the block. So low, medium, or high underneath there. High is pretty high. Don't want to tweak your back. Just make sure it's comfortable. And then just allow your hips to really settle and rest here on this block. This is good. This elevation, this is really, really good for your circulation. This is also going to lift your mood a little bit here. A little or that. Good for your lower back pain if you have any. So now we're going to move into waterfall. Okay, so I'm going to bring my right knee into my chest and extend the right leg up in the air. And then same thing with the left leg coming in and then kick it up. So now both legs up in the air. I've got my block resting underneath me. Arms resting beside you. Happy as can be, enjoying every moment of this. If you want to add a little bit of movement to it, you can point and flex at the feet. Hopefully you can see that. If you cannot get your legs totally straight, a little bend in them is totally fine too, okay? Do what you can. Sometimes those hamstrings are tight. So just do whatever, straighten them as much as you possibly can. Then to come out of this, we are going to actually keep the legs straight if I have enough room, and then stretch the front of the body. So it's going to look like this, lowering the right leg down, down, down till the heel hits the ground. Then start to take the left leg down, down to the ground. So both legs are going to stay straight in this. I still have my block underneath me. And now the front of my body, holy cow, getting a really awesome stretch. So kind of similar to our chest opener at the beginning of our practice. Now it's moved more into kind of that belly, pelvis area. If it's too much, take the block out. Then bend your knees one at a time. Set your feet down flat. Press into the feet. You're going to lift your hips up, slide your block off to the side, and then lower the hips back down to the floor. Hug the knees up into your heart and gently rock those knees side to side. Good. Maybe come into a happy baby if you want, rocking back and forth. If that feels good, you can stay there, linger there a little longer. Otherwise, maybe just continue with those little massaging circles. And then when you're ready, collapse down into your Shavasana pose. So Shavasana today, corpse pose, lie flat. If you want to use or incorporate your blocks somehow, you can totally incorporate your blocks. You can do a chest opener to finish out. You can just rest your hands on the blocks. Whatever you need in this moment, close your eyes and just lose yourself in this quiet moment. Then when you're ready, start to wake up. Wiggle fingertips and toes. Rolling through the ankles and the wrists. Stretch the arms above your head. Stretch the legs down below. Hug the knees up into your heart. And roll over to your right side in fetal pose. And then press yourselves back up into a seated position on your mat. Just rest your hands on your knees, close your eyes. Breathing in and out, feeling that peace, feeling your heart open, more open to change, more open to the good things coming your way. Think of those positive affirmations as much as you possibly can, especially in some of the things that are going around in the world right now. So do the best you can with that. Remain in a peaceful place. And I leave this with you. I hope and can't wait to hopefully see you soon, and hope you enjoy the rest of your day and into a fantastic weekend. I will see you next week. Namaste.